경기장 도시형.
All right. So,
are you going to do the intro?
I was doing the odd numbered ones today.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, yeah, I did do the last one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Do it.
Over here in the top right-hand corner from Team OGS, we have Finn. He is our teal Terran player. His opponent, the last man standing for Evil Geniuses. That is their newest acquisition, JYP, our red Protoss. Down to the bottom left-hand corner of the map is Shakura's Plateau.
Man, and he really had to be the most evilest of geniuses to think his way out of that last game.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty cerebral. I mean, it takes a lot of good control, obviously, a lot of good dexterity to pull off something like that. But even more so, I think it takes a lot of mental ability to be able to know exactly when to do what in that sort of really, really high-pressure situation. You know, I mean, you're the last person for your team. The game is on the line. Any little screw-up could end the game for you, and you perform like that.
Yeah.
Splendidly done by EG.JYP.
Agreed. And the best part about it was his patience. He voluntarily sacked a gateway in the middle of that and pulled the correct number of probes all the time just so he could barely hold and eke out that advantage, and then decided to expand just as soon as his opponent turned around. So just very, very smart play, patient play out of JYP. And we're going to see if he can pull off something similar here. I'm not saying that Finn's going to all in, just saying that if he can pull off the same stellar kind of play in this game.
Yeah. So there's a probe doing some scouting. He knows exactly where his opponent is. Just wants to see what he's up to. He's going to see a barracks and a gas. He's going to see a very normal opening from oGs.Fin. But what does it mean? You know, what is Finn going to do out of this? Is it going to be another barracks? Is it just going to be an expand?
Right.
Could be a Reaper. Could be 111.
Yep.
There's just a lot of information that JYP doesn't know right now. All he knows is that there's gas. So that usually indicates to a Protoss player that you're going to need to play a little bit more careful. But JYP is going to say, hey, man, I'm just going to make my Nexus instead. So I guess it's going to be a Nexus first from JYP.
Yes, it is.
And you can defend it. But if Finn is going for something really aggressive, JYP could be in a bit of trouble.
And really aggressive it is going to be. At least he's going to have a pretty strong attack at the beginning of the game. Two barracks play just coming back into style once again. Very popular a year ago. Fell out of style a few months ago, and it's really coming back now. So we're going to see what JYP can do to hold this off. He's 17 Nexus and put up a gateway right after that. So I don't think you can turn Nexus into a verb. So Nexus.
All right, I guess you can't. Well, he reactored that barracks.
Yep. Yes, he did.
And you could tech lab another barracks.
Yes.
You can do verbs with that.
Yes, I like that. I like making words up.
That's right.
Makes
words
me feel
with
educational.
It's fun.
All right, that's a tech lab. We're going to see upgrades here in a bit. No real surprise there. What upgrade is it going to be? Is he going to try and hit his stim timing? Is he going to open with Marauder Concussive Shell? Going with the reactor first, he's going to have a lot more units out there than if he just wanted to go for a straight, super fast Concussive Shell. But
yeah, it really depends. I mean, if you can go for stim right away. The timing for that and Concussive Shell. Okay. So with Concussive Shell first, we're probably going to see him put on some pressure and try to expand out of that.
Sure.
If you go for stim first, you can add on that third barracks, go for the 3 barracks push that used to be so popular, but really fell off after stim was reduced in, or increased rather, in build time. That really kind of killed that push. It just comes too late now. But I think we are going to see, you know, the 2 racks expand with some decent pressure here.
JYP already on 25 workers, though, so he's got quite a good economy.
Right. And I was going to say, if he gets combat shields after Concussive Shell, he can hit a nice little timing where he gets to the base about when that finishes.
You're definitely right, and we're going to see if any additional gateways get thrown down here in a second. There's number 2 and 3, and number 4, as a matter of fact. So once those all up at once, we're going to see, there's the combat shield time you were talking about.
Yep. There's a couple different ways you can 2 racks like this. One is to just get Concussive Shells and just do a little bit of pressure. You do get your command center, of course, much quicker that way. If you do it this way, you really need to do damage. If you don't do damage with this, you are going to be very far behind economically, especially if your opponent does something like a Nexus first. Oh,
Sure.
he was going to scout for that pylon. He turned around.
Wait, I don't know if he saw. Let's take a look here. No, just out of his range, as a matter of fact.
Got to always look for that pylon. Oh, Finn.
Let's see if JYP, yeah, he's going to pick up on this force. His gateways are just finishing up as well, so he's going to have 4 gateways in just a second. Cancels his robo immediately as soon as he sees those forces.
Yeah, excellent idea, too. You're going to need the gas for some sentries and some stalkers for sure, so he's going to have some SCVs coming with this, too. Not all in, a lot of SCVs, but definitely a big risk being taken by Finn to go for this, and he's actually just going to go ahead and give up the Nexus. JYP still playing very, very safe in this game. I'm really impressed, you know?
Yeah, incredibly patient this entire time, canceling the pylon on the low ground as well and starting those back at home. Of course, he just has 1 on these 3 gateways over here to the left. I would have figured a couple more of those would have gone down underneath those, but no. Nexus goes down. We're going to see if Finn can push it home right now, or if it's going to be another miracle defense from JYP.
All right, well, there it is. Oh, don't lose your sentry. Okay, he did pull back in time. Here's the thing, all right? So if he can split this army, which he's doing a pretty good job of.
Yes.
If he can defeat this army, all right, this is getting a little bit dangerous, but if he can defeat this army, he's got 4 gates. Finn has 2 barracks.
Yes.
4 is twice as many as 2. He's going to have a lot more units. He could kill Finn with a counterattack, but he lets some units up the ramp.
No! And Finn, he's only got 4 more units to kill right now. JYP is probably going to have to pull some probes off the line. There they go. Oh, he almost took out that pylon. That would have depowered everything. That would have been game right there. As it stands, Finn is getting cleaned up here inside of the main, but he's done quite a bit of damage.
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of probes are going to live through this. He's still going to have, I think, probably a higher worker count here.
Okay,
and another miracle hold by JYP.
Oh my God.
How many hit points does that pylon has?
4 hit points. It was down to 4 hit points.
Oh,
that would have just been instant game. That would have been it.
That's right. Starting in Nexus again right away.
Yeah. All right. Let's actually take a look to see how far along the command center is. Okay, both structures coming up at about the same time. 33 to 27 worker advantage for JYP at the moment. So it carries a worker advantage, but he is down on units.
Yep, that's right. And he's still got that pylon in Finn's natural, too. Don't forget about that. So that could be something that's going to have an impact later in the game as well. Another strong push coming out from oGs.Fin right now.
Yeah.
But JYP at this point should be able to prepare fairly well for this, I would say.
Yeah. He's got a lot of units down. He's got sentries with enough energy to he can force the engagement here. Doesn't have to give up the Nexus again.
That's right. Yeah, generally you don't want to have to cancel that Nexus twice, especially this time around where the command center is going to be done. And I think he knows this too. This just relentless aggression though by Finn. I mean, I wonder if he thinks he killed a few more probes than he did. Ooh, that's dangerous. Oh, 1 more force field and really nice army split for JYP.
So good. Yep, he's just going to walk through that front line of forces. So Finn taking quite a bit of damage there, and looks like he's going to need to back up. He has just lost his supply advantage. He is, well, just about tied in workers. Looks like a couple of units tried to make their way into the main, but they do get killed.
Yeah, you know what happens now if you're a Terran player and you lose your units like that?
What happens now?
You are in trouble because counterattacks are very, very strong in this situation.
Yep.
You have to get back there. You have to bunker up.
Oh, he's looking for the pylon and went down low. He still hasn't seen this pylon inside of his opponent's base.
Yeah, that's actually pretty amazing that he hasn't found that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if JYP decides to push right now, which I'm not sure if he should, but if he decides to, he's going to hit right before Stim finishes. And if he can force that engagement before Stim, there's a pretty good chance he can win it. If not, I don't think he's going to be able to break up the ramp, but at the very least, he's going to be able to contain his opponent for much longer.
Once the medevacs come out, too, it's going to be a different story. But it looks like he's already just going to turn around and go home. Just the threat of those units being there looks like it's containing his opponent for a little while. See if Finn decides to go back down the ramp here in a second. Yeah, I really can't afford to try that unless he decides to just like send 1 Marine down. It's just too dangerous. Right. So this has been a good job, you know, mining his opponent out now as these mineral patches are getting pretty low. He'll just need to switch over and start very heavily mining his natural. And JYP, on the other hand, he's teching up to a robotic facility and a Twilight Council while still producing off of those 4 gates and has a nice 2-base economy going. Yep, a lot of Protoss players lately have been liking to get that early Twilight Council for Blink. So probably see that. And there's one Zealot. He knows right when the command center is coming out. Yes, he does. And if he gets an SCV kill, that'll be hilarious. But he doesn't. Nope. So it's not as funny as it could be. They have to be like, where'd that Zealot come from? Oh, pylon. Oh. There's the dastardly pylon. So
there's Blink. Now, the question here is JYP going to use that for observers, or is he going to go ahead and throw down a Templar Archive and go for 2-base High Templar, like it's been really popular in Korea lately?
We'll find out here in a second. So I imagine he's going to get one observer one way or another in a bit. There's one. And looks like he has some stalkers on the right-hand side as well. This is kind of clever to clear this up as well because he can blink out and run around his opponent's army if necessary.
Exactly, yeah. Yep, very good observation there. That is something that'll need to worry about. Here's the drop. And this will be something, too, where if, like you mentioned, if Finn tries to drop on that place on the low ground, too, he can still come up and deal with this.
Yes, he can.
And, oh, man.
A lot of stalkers there. And yep,
yeah.
Bye-bye, Finn. He runs away.
I was going to say, yeah, you want to be looking at your medevacs at this point.
Oh,
wow. What? Finn, what are you doing, man?
Oh, I can't believe that. 2 go down, as a matter of fact. And Blink is not finished yet, so he's going to lose a couple of stalkers. But, of course, he is going to come out way in the advantage in this trade.
They're like, I wish we still had those medevacs. But don't.
Does pick up on this Nexus being constructed at the 6 o'clock, though. Looks like Finn was coming back in
another
for round
right
number 2, especially
cool.
after getting that so cleared up so fast.
Interesting. Well, Ghost Academy on the way for Finn now as well. No sign of future tech yet for JYP.
Right.
He's got a lot of minerals and gas built up, too.
Yes.
I think he's just going to go ahead and try to push this, actually.
How many gateways? He's still off of 4 gates right now? He is. He's got so many resources built up.
Yeah, he does. A little bit confusing. Okay, he is going to expand again.
Yeah, expanding over to the top left-hand corner. So one hidden expansion.
Okay, so there's charging a few more gateways.
Yes.
All right. And 2 forges. All right. So we're going to see some pretty quick upgrades. He's going to have to catch up a little bit to Finn.
Right.
But with charge, he's going to be in a great position until the ghosts come out.
Finn only just started +1 weapons. The ghosts are the big thing right now. The ghosts are the big advantage.
Oh, they're already on the way.
He has, exactly. Yep. And but with double forge and chrono boost, he's going to be able to get an upgraded advantage pretty soon. He's got to watch out. That force getting killed there would be devastating. Nice blink control to pull back behind the sentries and the zealots. Scan goes down and picks off the observer.
Oh, it's a little eyeball kind of rolling around on the ground there. It's so sad. Look at all those upgrades going there. Yeah. +1 weapons, armor, and charge, and more gateways.
Now, the big thing for Finn, though, is that, of course, there's been no threat of Colossi quite yet, so he's not investing. Well, as I say that, he actually puts up a Viking nonetheless, but still, it's not like now he's putting up 2, so he does think that there's a threat of Colossi. Never mind. So
it's always good to get at least a couple of Vikings if you think there's a chance of Colossi. I mean, he could always scan, and he would see that Templar Archives most likely, but he's got enough medevacs out right now that he can stand to make a couple Vikings, but as we know, they're not going to be terribly helpful.
Oh, he's going to make his way up to the top as well. And if he's able to trap those forces in half, that would be devastating. Ghost now has an EMP ready. Those sentries were all grouped up, but he actually missed his first EMP.
Oh, and he's going to trap him on the ramp. Nice defensive force fields there, keeping him out. A couple Marines getting a little bit ahead of themselves here.
Right. And the macro for Finn has actually been pretty good because of how big of a loss he had taken before. 6 High Templar are morphing it at the moment. We'll see if those turn into Archons or what the case is going to be. Trapping more units on the high ground. Now the charge lots are making their way out on the back of Guardian Shield as well. I heard a couple of ghosts die in there
somehow they all got up the ramp by themselves.
Yeah.
And, wow, JYP, still a very strong force. Does he have any more force fields? He doesn't, but he does have Archons. And that is going to be a bit of a problem. More zealots coming in.
This was really nice hitting with +1 as well. Finn has been stimming pretty liberally, though, and we're going to see if that increased damage is going to hold him back or not. More units starting to reinforce. Zealots coming up, but it doesn't look like they're going to be enough. Ladies and gentlemen, Finn has won the game, and OGS is going to advance into winners round 2 here at Team Arena Challenge.